to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Viz-55. It's the Tier 10 Czech heavy tank. It's located on the southeast spawn of Fjords, and it's under the command of Konopnik. Yeah, I got it right that time. I actually pronounced his name correctly. He sent me in another replay because he liked the last video so much, he wanted us to do a better one, or at least a different replay, which he thought was a really good one. I think when you get to his sort of level of play, where you literally drown 2 enemy tanks with your Viz-55, 2 enemy heavy tanks, that's some skill. That really does take some doing. But he sent us another replay, and we're now going to have a watch of this. Now remember, it's a 13cm gun. It's capable of 490 output. It's a 2-shot autoloader with a 2-second intra-clip reload. Oh, and he just spotted an enemy tank. It's a Chieftain. It's the FP4201. In fact, yeah, I think he spotted him going through the pass, and oh, that was somebody firing across the map there. And there's Arty rounds arcing through the sky at the moment. So he's capable of doing 980 hit points with just 2 shots. Well, he didn't connect the second one with the AMX13105, but he did get 407 hit points, which is a very low roll actually. Not a very good one, but that AMX13105 is in danger, and we might be able to get a number of shots at him if he makes a mistake. I think he might. He did. In fact, it wasn't us who got the kill in the end, it was our AMX13105 who killed their AMX13105 in the end. Standard reload is 21.09 seconds, but Konopnik's got a slightly better reload than that. Penetration on these shells is 260mm, and that's with standard shells, but Konopnik's actually using APCR and HE. He's only loaded 4 HE, but he's going for the damage. He needs to get his marks up, and so that's why he's using premium ammo. That's what some of the expert players do. When they're marking tanks, they get the premium ammo out, and it doesn't matter how much it costs. They just need the extra damage. They need to make sure every shell does its job and penetrates the enemy. Doesn't always happen. Obviously, you saw that shot with the AMX13105. He didn't pin that guy, but that probably did hit the tracks, and that's why it didn't go through. There's a T110E3 over there. They're difficult to penetrate from the front, but they're fairly easy to penetrate from the side if you've got enough pen. And Konopnik can actually penetrate from the front. I think he's got enough pen with these ones, because the premium rounds that he's actually got at the moment. I've got 306mm of pen. Oh, he's just got another hit. It's the Object 140. One of the really good Soviet tanks, Soviet mediums. And he just got a pen, and the guy ducked behind that rock as quickly as he could. And I think he's waiting. Oh, he's moved up a bit. He's looking. Yes, he gets the cupola. The first shot that went in was a low roll, 447. The second shot was a low roll as well, 476. And the 140 is taking damage. He's now 1 shot. And Konopnik might be able to poke his way over the top there and finish that 140 off with 1 round. Instead, he's decided to come down here, go around the corner and finish him that way. Okay, he's going to take a risk here. He might take a shot. No, first one connects, second one connects and kills him. And he's taken absolutely no damage from the enemy yet. But of course, I'm not speaking too soon to say that, yeah, I think he's going to take some damage eventually. Oh, that was brutal. Yep, the enemy FP4005 just wiped out our Gorilla 15, and he probably used a Hesh round to do it. Okay, he's just waiting here for the moment. There's an enemy Gorilla 15 and an FP4005 just around the corner. They've not made an attempt to move around yet, but we also can see that there was a Minotauro, the new Tier 10 Italian tank destroyer. And he's actually gone down to the South Pass, so we might see him coming in from a different angle. So he has to keep his eye open, but the Guerrillas can spot for us on that direction. Nick's going back to his original spot to see if he can spot any enemy moving up. You can see the enemy Arty is focusing on our AMX 13105 at the moment. There's 2 Arty on either side, batch at 155.58 on the enemy team and a GW E100. And on our team, we've got a batch at 155.58 and an object 261. So we're the lucky ones. And oh, that's the gorilla. When he gets the first one in, and oh, he got a fire! He got a fire. He got 2 low rolls on the gorilla, but he did get a fire. And waiting for the reload to go through. I know it shows green, but he is still loading. He might get another shot. No, he doesn't. The kill shot went to the Fosh B, and he had thanked the guy. Now we've got a TVP. First shot ricochets off the turret, but the second one, yes, he got, or did he? Yes, he did. High roll, 503. As he attempted to move forward, the TVP just got hit. There was no explosion off that Arty shell. There was off that one. So it looks like the TVP has been struck multiple times, and he might be a one-shot now. Our team are 1 tank down on the enemy, but still anything to play for, and Knopnik's not suffered any damage so far. He's trying to get the Hesh barn. He gets 1 in. It is a high roll, but only just. This is turning out to be quite an interesting battle for Knopnik. He's already got just under 4k of actual damage, and now the enemy's moving down from the south pass. We've lost all our guys down there. We're 2 tanks down from the enemy, but we're only 793 down on hit points. FP4005. First shot in. Second shot kills. He's got another kill. 2 kills now. And he blocked a Hesh round. 1,700. But finally the Minotauro does get a penetration for 514. It's only the first one though. No, that Minotauro is in reload. At least at the moment. So there's 5 left on his team, 6 on the enemy team. Oh, not so good. We're down to 4. It's going to be a bit of an ask for Knopnik to do something and get the kills on the enemy. He doesn't want to move too far around the corner. Yeah, I was worrying about that, the T110E3, but he can pen this guy with a frontal shot to the lower plate. He didn't get it there. Is he going to try again? He does. We don't know if the second shell penned. But Arty's certainly hitting him. And I think that might mean that he's getting the spotting assist off that shot, because I can't see anyone else who's spotting that E3 at the moment. Oh, somebody saw him again. And I suspect it might be either the TVP is up ahead, or it was the enemy Arty's focusing on us now. He needs to move out of this position, I think. That E3 is probably still on that corner. And one of the Arty's gone there. The other one's actually back at the their cap area. And he's decided to quickly get down from that position because it was just too hot. His first aid kit's on cooldown. That's why he's having to experience the stun. Okay. Minotauro. Gets it in the cupola, low roll. Gets it through the side on the next one, and that's 20% of the enemy hit pool. He might actually have a high caliber. Wow, his reload is actually 18.95. That's lower than I expected. That's a 3-second decrease, but there's the TVP. First shot doesn't connect. Second, yeah, does connect. It does connect, it's a low roll, but it means that the TVP is now a one-shot. T110E3 is going up into the western pass, or is he? No, he's changing. Now might be the time for us to move forward, get the kills on the Arty, get them out of the way so they're no longer a threat. There's only 2 left on our team. The Fosh B is going down to the south pass to meet the gorilla. We're moving to a position where we might be able to get shots on that E3 and take him out the game. It's not going to cut across there because he might get spotted. I would go for the Arty right now. It will let the E3 know where we are, but on the other hand, he will get 2 enemy tanks out of the game almost immediately. There's one of them. No, he can't really cut across. There's the GW. Go for the GW first. Good job that he did, because he didn't kill him with the first shot. And the Batchat knows that he's in reload, and it made like he was actually going to come across, and the TVP is coming up this way now. Oh my gum, he's going to have to take on several tanks all at the same time. He knows the TVP's coming. The T123, we don't know where he is. We know where the Batchat is. I think he's just trying to get round to a more workable position so he can defend himself against those guys when they turn up. There's the E3. He's headed actually towards the enemy cap, and he's been spotted. Okay, turning the turret slowly. First shot connects. One shot now. Oh, he got the kill. That's the 4th kill. And that's a biggie, because now we know that TVP is very low on hit points. The Gorilla, we don't know how much he's been hit. I think he's very low on hit points indeed. So it's now take out that Batchat, get rid of the Batchat 155-58. That will give him a Pascucci's, and it will take away the threat of actually being stunned by Arty when you don't want to be. No, he's around the corner. You're going to have to go up closer. He's got plenty of hit points to spare. There's the Batchat. He's making a run for it. I don't think he can kill him with one shot. Can you get it? Oh no, he's going to have to turn around. He doesn't want to go up too high, because that TVP might be waiting for him to come up. Oh, there's the PVP, and he's still in reload. So he's going for the ram kill. He gets it. Excellent. He didn't suffer any damage at all from the TVP. Ram killed him. Of course, the TVP is a medium. He's a heavy tank. He's got the weight to do it. This tank is 57 tons heavy. So he could just push the TVP out of the way, saved himself the shells, and of course he wasn't loaded, so he had no other choice. But it did work. He's now about to enter the enemy cap area. Now, where is that Batchat? It's only the Gorilla 15 and the Batchat left on the enemy team. He's sole one alive. I'm afraid, yeah, he did lose his teammates a little earlier. We were focusing on the TVP at the time, and of course, the T123 victory. Now, where did that Batchat go? They are fast. Batchat 155-58s. They've got a top speed of about 65 kilometers an hour, which is quite fast for an Arty. If I seem to remember, it's 65. I may be wrong, but I'm not sure I am. I think that is about right. Okay, he's hunting the Batchat. He's a big Arty as well, so he's easy to spot, but the worry is that he's going to get hit by Gorilla 15 rounds. But if the Gorilla hits him, he's going to go into long reload, and then it'll be easy for him to get at least one shot into the Gorilla, finish him off. And there is the Batchat. He went to the cap. He's out with one round. We do get spotted. That's the Top Gun. Where is the Gorilla? It was also a Pascucci's medal. I forgot to mention that. Where did the Gorilla go? We know the Gorilla is low on hit points. 86 hit points is what we're showing. He's going to take a risk if he cuts across the field. But I think he's happy enough to do it. He's going to have lightning reflexes to fire on that Gorilla the moment he gets spotted. There's the Gorilla! Oh, he missed it with the first shot, but he gets him with a second, and that wins the game for Konopnik. Here's the end of battle result, and that was an ace tanker game for Konopnik in the Viz 55. He got a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6 in this one, and he got a Hand of God as well for surviving the battle, having received damage from at least 4 enemy different enemy vehicles, as well as a Pascucci's for killing 2 enemy SPGs. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and finally he got a top gun for killing at least 6 enemy tanks. He killed 7 in the end. That Gorilla 15 was his last kill, and I think that Gorilla 15 was trying to find the right spot to hide in, because he just didn't want to die, but he knew that if he tried to stay around his own cap area, he would get discovered and taken out by Konopnik, because he had enough hit points to take at least 1 round from that Gorilla and then be able to finish the guy off with 2 more rounds spare in the mag. So let's have a look at the win 8. 13,964. That's way better than the last game he showed us, the one on Arctic region. That's a really great game. A carry of 3 versus 1. Well, he definitely got the highest damage in the game, 7,975 hit points. The next highest being the FP4005 that he took out. That had 3,768, and the third highest was this tank, which I think is the Minotauro, actually, 3,705 hit points. It's got the question mark, but that means that it's an Italian, because they haven't loaded the data in from the names yet. I'm pretty certain that that is the Minotauro. Anyway, when it came to kills, he got that one as well. He got 7 kills out of that one. 3 kills went to the Batchat, 155-58. 2 kills went to the Heshbon, 2 kills there, and the T110E5 on our own team. And when it came to base XP, he was the only player to get over 1,000 base. He got 1,441, which shows how strong this victory was. And of course, that meant that he got the top in all 3 columns in that game. The next highest scorer being the T110E5 with 847, and the Object 261 with 787. So very, very good game to carry out that one through right at the end when he was 1 versus 3, and he pulled it off. He fired 28 shots in that game, got 23 direct hits on the enemy and 20 penetrations. I suppose you could say that it did help that he was using the premium ammo to do that. 7,975 hit points of damage, of which 1,614 were at more than 300 meters. I'm pretty sure that T110E3 shot that he fired actually was at more than 300 meters. It certainly seemed it. He received 8 hits from the enemy, but only 1 actually penetrated, 4 non-penetrations, and 5 hits by way of splash damage. I'm trying to think of which ones actually did pen him and actually do some damage. He did receive quite a few rounds, though, during that encounter. At least 1 round came in from the T110E3 when he was on that pedestal overlooking the water, the pool down below. So yes, he was holed fairly comprehensively in that one. He also blocked damage of 960 hit points. Oh, by the way, he did actually take 5 splashes from the enemy Arty, and that's probably that batch at 155-58, because of course he's a 3-shot autoloader, so he's got plenty of ammo to blast away. And the other, of course, was that GWE100. I don't seem to recall that. I think he might have been hit by the GW, or at least he was stunned once by the GW. But I think it was the Batchat who was doing the most damage. He spotted 4 enemy vehicles in the game, got 10 direct hits, or 10 enemy vehicles damage rather, 7 killed, and 866 hit points of damage assistance. He also got 12 defense points when he reset the cap. That was the Batchat 155-58, who was capping towards the end of the game, and actually what he should have done, really, I suppose, the best thing he could have done was to actually join the Gorilla and then maybe set up in an ambush position so he could shoot at the cap if the Gorilla was spotting for him, and that might have been able to equal the score. But going to the enemy cap and sitting there, especially when the Viz 55's in the game, because it's got 50 kilometers an hour top speed, so he can get to the cap in time to get a reset. So that Batchat was basically just giving it away and saying, "Here I am, come kill me." And of course, even if it was the Gorilla, he was still going to turn up and wipe them out. He earned 96,006 credits from the game, but he had 14,000 for repair, 132,850 for ammo, and 26 for consumables, and that made a loss of 77,520 credits. But I don't think he'll mind that, because he did get an extraordinary result and a lot of hit points, and that certainly helps when you're trying to mark the vehicle. 2,161 XP, no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. We'll just have one final look at the armor profile for this vehicle. waiting for it to come up. Okay, as we've seen before, this thing does have those brows which are next to the turret, which actually provide spaced armor to work on the heat shells. If the enemy tries to use heat on this, they're not likely to get through because it's actually working out to be 315.5 millimeters. You can see there about 320 at one point. The actual armor underneath, you can see, is only basically 195 millimeters, but you add the brows on, it's another 70 millimeters on top, and that makes it very difficult to get through. The upper plate is 115 millimeters, but angled comes out at 215. Lower plate, well, it's got two gradations there. You can see one which is steep and the other one even steeper. And the lower one is 140 millimeters coming up at 195. The upper one is 140 millimeters coming up at 190. So, yes, you've got slightly better angling down there. You can still penetrate it if you've got the right armor and certainly, or the right shells. And certainly with the shells that Konopnik was using, you can definitely get through that armor right at on the lower plates. You could also probably overmatch well, maybe not overmatch. You could maybe get through the cupola because it's 200 millimeters there, coming out at 200. I doubt if you'd be able to hit that one. That one's the obvious one to go for. And of course, there's a viewport directly in front, which is, if I remember correctly, that's the gunner's viewport. That's the commander's cupola there. So you can probably get through one of those and get a nice little pen. The sides of the vehicle are moderately weak. Yeah, 90 millimeters, but it's flat-sided, so you're not going to suffer much in the way of lack of penetration due to spaced armor or anything. The sides of the turret, 150 millimeters, but it gets weaker as you get towards the back because they've kind of graded the metal. So you can see 150 here, it drops to 120, then it goes down to 100 right at the back, then it goes down to 90. So you can see it's actually fairly thin. The rear of the vehicle, 85 millimeters coming out at 100. The top of the vehicle is 30 millimeters, so Arty should be able to pen that. Might have difficulty with the turret because that's 52 millimeters on top of that turret, but towards the back it's 40. So if you're an Arty player, aim for the engine deck because that's probably the easiest to pen. Don't aim towards the front of the vehicle. You're going to have difficulty getting through the frontal armor on the turret. And if you do lay it on the frontal plate simply because that's the way he's looking at you at the time, you've got to get through 115 millimeters, and I don't think that's going to be easy unless you're using an armor-piercing shell. So, yes, I wouldn't even try to penetrate this one with an armor-piercing. I think I would just try to lay high explosive on top of the turret, on top of the engine deck. Now, I know that there isn't... let's put the live version up. Yes, you can see the live version is saying aim at the upper plate or lower plate, the cupola. Don't aim for the turret itself because it's quite strong. If you've got a side shot, yes, you can get that in. If you can get the rear, you can get the rear. But yes, not the front of the turret. Don't aim for the front of the turret because you're just not going to pen. The angles are wrong. You'll get bounce off the roof. Probably. You can maybe aim HE at that part there, but the cupola's an easy one. You should be able to get the cupola. And of course, as I said, the upper plate and lower plate, you've got the driver's hatch here, or driver's viewport. So we know the driver is in the center up front. We know the gunner is here. We know the commander's there, which means the loader is probably over this side. And that cupola there is probably, if I go to the texture, the hybrid live. Yep, that hatch there is probably the loader's hatch. And this is the commander's, there's the gunner. I think that's probably about correct. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. That was certainly a very exciting one, especially when it was down to 3 against 1, and he knew that some of them had low hit points. The TVP had low hit points, so did the Gorilla 15, but of course he didn't really want to expose himself to multiple fire because you know the TVP has the ability, like an assassin, to do 1,200 hit points in a matter of a few seconds. So if he actually exposed himself and the TVP was waiting in ambush, it could have ended very nastily for him. But yep, he played well enough. He got the TVP, he got the Gorilla 15, and then it was just a matter, well, it was getting the batch at first, and then he got the Gorilla 15 as soon as he found him. I feel sorry for that Gorilla 15 driver, because he was driving so fast to try and get away, but yep, Konopkic did get the shot right into his rear to finish the game off with a victory. Well done. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.